Hi, welcome to Clarity 16.1.3 Feature Supportability Training. My name is Santosh Panchali and I'm a product manager of Clarity. In this session, we'll go through the enhancements made to per period metrics configuration. So, what's new? Firstly, selection of per period metrics or TSV attributes has now been streamlined to be chosen from the column picker itself, like any other attributes. And secondly, a new setting has been added to view options to configure fiscal periods by duration rather than specifying both start and end periods. And why are these improvements important? Prior to this release, user had to select per period totals from the column picker, but to see the period-wise data, they had to select from the view option settings. In this release, it has been streamlined to choose both or either of them from the same column picker. And in regards to the additional way to select the periods, it gives greater flexibility to users, especially when dealing with dynamic rolling periods. Now, let's get into the details. The per period metrics drop-down from the view options has been removed, and instead, the selection can now happen from the column picker itself. Also, an additional setting is provided in the view options that allows the user to view what aspect of per period metrics should be displayed, that is, totals, period-wise, or both. We'll see more about this in the demonstration. And a note here, views which were already configured with per period metrics, with some of them to display period-wise data and some of them to display totals data, will now be upgraded in this release to display the combination of all those attributes so that they show both total and periods data for those attributes. Prior to this release, for which periods the per period data should be displayed was being determined by start and end periods. Now, the same can also be determined by just providing the start period and specifying the number of periods, and optionally with an offset from the start. Okay, let's go through a demonstration to see these improvements. All right, I have logged into Clarity as Patrick, who is a project manager, and I'm on the projects grid. Now, I can configure the per period metrics from the column picker under the per period metric section. Let's choose ETC and plant cost. And what data about the per period attribute should be displayed can be chosen here from the view options. When I choose total, it displays just the totals in the grid for the selected per period attributes. When I change it to periods, it displays the period-wise data like this. And when I choose totals and periods, it displays both as we can see it here. It shows the data for these periods as that is what has been configured in the view options as start and finish periods or the start and end periods. Now, there is another way to configure this with the new duration setting added to the view options. In this case, we just give the start period and specify the number of periods to display the data for. Let's check it out by providing the number of periods as, say, 6. As we can see, it displays the data 2023-07 for 6 periods. In addition, I can optionally give an offset, which is a number that denotes when or after how many periods after the start should the data be displayed for. Let's give it as, say, 2. Now, we can see the data is displayed from 2023-09 instead of 2023-07 and for 6 periods. This offset can also be a negative number in case the period should start prior to the specified start period. Also, like in earlier releases, I can continue to use the per period scroller at the top to shift my periods backward or forward like this. And when I do so, the offset gets updated, like as you can see here. By the way, these settings are also honored in other layouts like this timeline layout, where periods are applicable like this. This concludes the session on per period metrics configuration enhancements. Thank you.